Hey everybody, Ms. Dietrich here. We're taking a look at question 8 from Review A. It says, Erica has 3 pieces of ribbon. Each piece is 25 yards long. And when I read this the first time, I didn't read it carefully enough, I have to admit. She needs to cut pieces that are 22 inches long. What is the greatest number of 22-inch pieces she can cut from the 3 pieces of ribbon? So what I've done here is I've drawn the 3 pieces of ribbon. So here's piece number 1, that's 25 yards long. Here's piece number 2, that's 25 yards long. And here's piece number 3, that's 25 yards long. So I think our best approach here is to actually figure out how many inches is one of the pieces, because the first time I read this I was thinking that this is yards, but it's actually inches. So if we do set up a proportion and we look at our favorite customary conversion chart, we see that 1 yard would be equal to 36 inches. So we would write that as a ratio. It's an inch to yard ratio. And we want to know how many inches if we have 25 yards. So we would put the 25 on the bottom of our proportion because the bottom is talking about yards. And we can either use cross products or just take advantage of the compatibility. But either way, we're going to be multiplying 36 times 25. And if you do that correctly, you're going to solve and get 900 inches for each piece. Remember, there's 3 of them. So the next step after that would be to divide the 900 to see how many equal groups of 22, in this case inches, because I read that wrong the first time. This is inches, not yards. We need to find out how many equal groups of 22 inches there are in 900 inches. And when you divide, you're not going to get an even answer. It'll be 40 point and then the 9, all of that repeats. Now, this is a question that demands that we have to actually think of the situation, because we wouldn't use this, this part. We have to think about the fact that if we're getting 40 solid pieces, the full pieces we would think of this as 40 and a little more, but we need full pieces. So if we kind of visualize that on our diagram here, so we have a little strip of 22, another little strip of 22, another little strip, etc., we would end up getting 40 groups. And we would have a little bit left over, but we can't use that. We can't glue it together, we can't tape it together. So that little extra that we have for each piece, that's not usable. So that means that we really are able to get 40 solid 22 inch pieces from each ribbon. And we have 3 of those. So the only thing left you have to do is ask yourself, if I have 3 of those, if I can get 40 out of the first piece, 40 out of the second piece, and 40 out of the third piece, how many total pieces would that be? All right, so hopefully you know what to do with these red numbers. You have a couple options on how to get that answer. And if you have any other questions, just send Ms. Dietrich an email.